Hello guys and welcome to the mini review of Wicked. So guys, I've actually recorded this after I recorded the Dance Moms episode. I finished it and then I realised, oh, I didn't actually talk about Wicked like I said I would. So here is my little Wicked mini review. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, a little bit of context. Wicked I saw way back in 2016. That was the first time I saw it, and then I saw it again in 2022, and then I've seen it twice in theatres this year. I went twice within like a month and a half by pure fluke of accident. I booked tickets with one group of friends, and then another group of friends wanted to get rush tickets for it, and I was like, might as well. So I've seen it a decent amount of times to say that I know it pretty inside out in terms of like I know the music, I know the plot, I know the characters quite well. I've sung some of the songs. I'm quite comfortable with the source material. So I went into this movie a little bit concerned because I was like, oh, they can either do this so right or they could get it so wrong. And there was little bits of me that was like, I think Cynthia Erivo, fantastic. She's going to slay the role. But is Ariana Grande going to slay the role? I like Ariana Grande. I think that she's very entertaining. But I was like, I don't know whether she's going to be able to really slay this role. Let's just say I ate my words. I actually don't think I had any problems with this movie. There was a few things that I was like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that, or oh, I liked that they changed that, or oh, that's interesting. But for the most part, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Every single musical number was a spectacle. Every single moment had its merits. There was funny moments. There was just so many beautiful parts of it, and it had me feeling something so profound. I genuinely walked out going, wow, what have I just watched? Like, I already want to go back and watch it again. I didn't find myself crying. I know a couple of people have been like, oh, I cried all the way through. I don't think I cried because I was smiling the entire time. I smiled from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. Everything was perfection in my eyes. It was literally perfection. And there are some moments in the musical that are quite weak and I like not my favorite bit. Like, I always tend to fall asleep during Dancing Through Life. Dancing Through Life is so boring to me. I hate it. It's my least favorite number in the whole musical, I think. And it's just because like it just adds nothing to it apart from just giving Fiero a song in Act 1 until they get to the Ozdos Ballroom, and then it is actually quite interesting. So I was really concerned about Dancing Through Life. It was absolutely fine. Jonathan Bailey, yeah, yeah. He actually made me like Fiero as a character. I don't really like Fiero in the musical. I just find him a bit of like a, ugh, Fiero's on stage, I guess. And I'm always like, oh, why is he playing these two wonderful women off against each other and like pretending to like one because he actually likes the other? But like in this musical, I felt it. I genuinely felt like he was torn between two women. Oh, just genuinely brilliant. I'm going to talk about what I thought to be a very controversial choice of splitting Madame Morrible into two characters. When I walked in, I was like, oh, okay, there's a character played by Kiala Settle. I was like, okay, sure, fine. And then when she started doing the bits that Madame Morrible does, I was like, oh, that's really strange. Like, what's going on here? And then I worked out that Madame Morrible had been split into two characters. And I actually thought it worked so much better as two characters, purely because you had Madame Morrible as this really kind, caring, and like mentor towards Elphaba, and it actually worked really, really well. It had such a power behind Michelle Yeoh's performance. I think that's how you say her name. And it was just magical because you really felt like she cared for Elphaba. So when she switches it up at the end and she's like, nah, actually, the wizard, I'm with the wizard. And the wizard, me, besties. That shot with the monkeys behind her flapping the wings. I thought, yeah, this woman's born to be a villain. This woman was born to play a villain. And I wasn't sure about her portrayal all the way through. And I think that's mainly because the bits that make her such a bombastic, over-the-top character are all seen in Act 1, and then in Act 2 it's like her evil arc, and we don't necessarily see the flamboyancy as much as the complete and utter despicable evil side of her. So I'm glad that they split her into two characters for the first bit, because it allowed Keala Settle's role to really relish in the evilness that is Madame Morrible's nasty side, but then keep Madame Morrible as an actual innocent character until the crux and the climax of the movie. I thought that was a brilliant, brilliant addition. There were some song changes and there were some note changes. I'm one of these people that I listen to the Adina Kristen version all the time. It's in my playlist, and so I'm used to like the cadences, the rhythm, the notes that they sing. So when Cynthia and Ariana were like doing a madness with the notes, I was sitting there and I was like, ooh, okay, I'm not going to say I dislike it, because I know I'm going to go home and go and listen to it and I'm going to be like, that's fucking fabulous. What did I do? I went home, listened to it, fucking fabulous. Defying Gravity, very good. Really, really enjoyed it. Very good. I do have a gripe about the ending, but I will get into that in a second. And it's mainly just because I'm a little bit of a purist when it comes to if you're going to end them. I'll get into it in a little bit. The songs were fantastic. The end of Popular, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, genuinely one of the best moments of the movie was the ending of Popular. I was like, damn. And the way she finished in the exact same pose, I was like, damn, they literally adapted this musical so faithfully. And I went into it and I was like, 2 hours 40 minutes for first act. The first act of Wicked is what, like less than an hour and a half? Not even that. And they turned it into 2 hours and 40 minutes. And did I sit there and lap up every single second? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was gorgeous. So honestly, I have to say this was genuinely one of the best movies, musical movies that I have seen ever. Like, period. Like, my favourite movie of all time is Mamma Mia, but that's just because it's a feel-good movie. No, that's not true. That's not my favourite movie ever. That's my favourite movie musical ever. No, that's not even true. A Star is Born, the Lady Gaga version, is my favourite movie musical ever. Oh, I'm all over the place, apparently. But Wicked, genuinely, the only thing that's stopping me saying, oh, Wicked is in my top 10 movies, is I want to feel like it's Wicked Part 1 and Part 2 that make it in. So I need to see Part 2 first, and then I can be like, Wicked Part 1 and Part 2. And best believe I'm watching all 5 hours of that. Somebody said that they should do like a double bill of it, and they should do like, oh, we're going to do Wicked Part 1, then have an interval, and then Wicked Part 2. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that. I'd sit there for like 6 hours just watching Wicked. Absolutely. And like I said, I've seen it twice this year. I'm a huge fan of Wicked. I love it. So this was done so, so well. Well done to everyone out there. Not that you're going to be watching this video, but well done to everybody. You absolutely smashed it. It made me feel things that I was like, wow. The bit in the Ozdust Ballroom, that bit in the musical played up for comedy. And it always jars me a little bit because I'm always like, it's hilarious seeing Elphaba do like the dance. But in this movie, it was played for such like beautiful dramatic tension. And then when like Glinda decides to come in and goes, yeah, I'm gonna join in. Oh my god, it was genuinely one of the most beautiful things ever. And when she's crying and you hear the chords are for good, guys, I was literally in my cinema seat crying. Not literally crying, but like crying inside, because I was like, this is everything and more than I wanted from this movie. I'm a huge, huge theatre fan. I'm actually working on getting to a certain number of musicals. I think I've seen 69 different musicals. Seen and been in 69 different musicals, which, funny. But I'm waiting till I get to like a certain number before I start ranking them and like doing like a countdown of my favourite musicals based on what I've seen and been in. So I will sort that out at some point. I might even do a movie musical one at some point. Let me know down below if you want me to start doing some tier list, like ranking things. But yeah, wow, this was such a great movie. I am going to end it on a little bit of a negative note. My one issue with the movie was how it ended. And that is mostly because I am such a diehard fan of the end of Act 1 of Wicked being, oh, whoa. duh, cut to black. And listen, this is not a comment on the battle cry. I thought the battle cry, when it first came out, I was like, not sure how I feel. But hearing it and seeing it in the movie thing, in the cinema, gorgeous. Like, actually gorgeous. My gripe was that then the movie went on for like 20 seconds too long. It was like, oh, duh, and then she like sped off into the distance. And I was like, oh. I kind of would have liked it to just like cut to black and be like, to be continued, like it did. But it kind of just went on for a little bit too long, and it jarred me a little bit because I'm so used to, oh, whoa, boom, like just blackout, and you're just like, oh my god, what the fuck have I just watched? That is how I wanted to feel, but I walked out going, oh, okay, that last shot was not necessary. It was nice, but it wasn't necessary, and I just wish they hadn't have done that. But anyway, that is my Wicked mini review. I probably have so many more thoughts, but they're just not popping into my brain right now. I genuinely, my favourite line of the whole movie was, is it Bowen? I can't remember his surname, but one of Galinda's friends, when Elphaba turns up and he turns around and goes, I just don't see colour. That was the funniest line of the whole movie. That had me in hysterics because I could just tell that it was completely off the cuff in the moment. He absolutely slayed that role. Big whoops to him. I really enjoyed. I keep saying I'm going to end the video. I'm sorry, guys. I just have so much to say. I could not tell you how much I loved Jeff Goldblum as the wizard. Effortless. Effortless. I've seen some fantastic wizards in my time, but Jeff Goldblum captured that role spectacularly. Right, I actually am going to end it now. So, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well, and I will see you guys later. Make sure to keep on ranting, and I'll see you guys later. Bye now.